Crunch, munch, crunch. You are having a crunch Hanukkah, I said. Do you know what I want for the holiday? Sludge looked up. Clues, I said. I was thinking, do I have any? I knew a lot of facts, but were they clues? I knew that Fang's card was big. I knew that when Fang greeted the mailman, he dropped the mail and ran for his life. I knew that Annie had a strong lap. Forget that one. I knew that Rosamond had the world's strangest Christmas tree. Forget that one too. I knew that Mrs. Fang was a bossy mother. She kept after Fang to eat bones. But dogs love bones anyway. I looked at Sludge. He kept making crunching sounds with his spoon. Was he trying to tell me something? He was. He knew what I had to do to solve this case. He knew that I, Nate the Great, had to think like a dog. I did not want to do that, but I had to find the card. Come, I said to Sludge. Sludge and I rushed back to Annie's house. It was hard to do. The snow was getting deeper and deeper. I handed the telephone bill to Annie. Then I said, there is a clue in Fang's old Christmas cards. Each year, the cards got bigger. But that's not the clue. Each year, Mrs. Fang got bossier. She sent stronger messages for Fang to eat bones. That's a clue. So where is this year's message? Annie asked. I, Nate the Great, say that Fang has it. Fang? Yes, he found the envelope on the ground next to the mailbox. Annie looked at Fang. I knew you were a very smart dog, she said. But I didn't know that you knew how to read. He doesn't, I said. But he knows how to sniff and to hide things. Tell me, does he have a favorite hiding place? Yes, somewhere in the backyard, Annie said. Follow me, I said. Annie, Fang, and Sludge followed me to the backyard. It was covered with snow. There was no trail. Look for a hump or bump in the snow, I said. It might be covering a hump or bump of dirt where Fang dug. I see one over there, Annie said. We must dig there, I said. Annie and I started to dig. Fang and Sludge watched. Why are we digging? Annie asked. Isn't that what dogs do? I stared at Annie. Dig, I said. Annie and I dug up a ball, a shoe, and a big, thick, soggy envelope. Hey, it has Fang's name on it, Annie said. She handed it to Fang. Fang tore open the envelope. There was a bone inside, with a card tied to it. It said, Merry Christmas from Mother Fang. Eat! I, Nate the Great, say that every year Mrs. Fang told Fang to eat bones. Her message got stronger. At last, she sent Fang a real bone. It must have come on a day when Fang greeted the mailman. The mail fell to the ground. Fang sniffed the envelope. He knew what was inside. He ran off with it and buried it in the dirt. Then the snow covered it. We uncovered it. Now Fang will have a crunchy Christmas. Case solved. Annie looked at Fang. You naughty elf. You made us look for the card and you were hiding it all this time. Annie looked at me. Maybe this is what elves do at Christmas time. No, I said. This is what dogs do all the time. How did you figure that out? Annie asked. I, Nate the Great, had to think like a detective, I said. I turned to leave. This was the last time I would take a case for a gigantic elf. An elf who did not need me in the first place. An elf who already knew what it took me 3.5 hours to find out. Suddenly, the elf dropped his bone. Maybe he knew that Christmas was not until next week. He rushed up to me. He started to lick me. He jingled while he licked. He's saying, Happy Holidays, Annie said. He's saying, I'm hungry, I said. Give this hard-working elf an extra bone so he can save his mothers for Christmas. Sludge and I started to walk away. Fang will love you forever, Annie said. Sludge and I walked faster. We headed home. Snow was still falling. 3.5 hours of it. To shovel. Maybe it would melt if I waited a month. Sludge and I went up our walk. Candles were shining in the window. It was time for one more card. Happy holidays to everyone from Nate the Great and Sludge.